Your weekend starts with The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson with James Garner and singer Sarah Hickman. Then don't go anywhere for late night. Dave's got Sybil Shepherd tonight.
Some new hope for an old problem in Hermantown. Nurses in Virginia brace themselves for cutbacks in staffing, and the mummy mystery is yet to be solved. We'll have these stories and all the day's news next on News 6 Nightside.
You're watching KBJR. The news starts now. The Northland's fastest growing television newscast, News 6. With Michelle Lee, Carol Hall's weather, and Tom Hansen with sports. Now, News 6 Nightside.
Thanks for joining us. The Minnesota Pollution Control Agency says there's new hope for the Arrowhead site. The oil processing site just outside of Duluth on Highway 53 has been the target of Superfund cleanup money from the federal government, but the cost of that cleanup was projected to be astronomical. Now the cost could be cut in half. Derek Hines has our story.
The EPA has called the Arrowhead site one of the worst areas of contamination in the country. To make matters worse, the heavy oil sludge is difficult to remove.
If it was just waste oil, that might be easier to clean up, but it was waste oil that was contaminated with a variety of other things. So it also has PCBs in it, and it has PAHs, which are carcinogenic burning products. It has solvents in it, some metals, cyanide, a variety of different things.
Over 2,000 cubic yards of waste oil is surrounded by 18,000 cubic yards of contaminated soil. Usually the only way to decontaminate a site like this is to incinerate all of the contaminated material, but here it could cost over $60 million. Now the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency has found an enzyme that can clean the soil on the site, and that could cut the cleanup cost in half.
So that's the good news, is that we believe that we can cut the cleanup costs that we've been estimating almost in half and maybe more by being able to use biological techniques on the soils.
The MPCA is also monitoring water wells around the site. So far, the groundwater beyond the site itself has not been affected. As for who will pay the bill, 13 major companies and over 400 others could be responsible for the contamination. An upcoming hearing before a U.S. magistrate could reduce the number of companies who will have to pay. After several years in court, the bill will be divided among the companies responsible on a percentage basis. The more contamination caused by a company, the more it will be ordered to pay. In Duluth, Derek Hines, News 6.
A hearing involving the Arrowhead site is set for February 4th. The courts will try to sort out which companies must pay for this massive cleanup. The Bayfield County Sheriff's Department is investigating a fatal shooting, the result of a standoff between an armed man and authorities. 34-year-old Stephen Bassina died of single gunshot wound. According to the Sheriff's Department, Bassina was discovered armed in his sister's home in rural Bayfield. When Red Cliff officers and Bayfield deputies ordered him to drop his gun, he started to fire shots. Police Chief Alan Boyd returned one single shot, which proved fatal to Bassina. The shooting happened last night. 31-year-old Terrence Kemper was arraigned in St. Louis County Court today in Duluth on a second-degree murder charge. Kemper is charged with murder in the fatal stabbing of his girlfriend, Deborah Lynn Porter, early yesterday morning. Police found Porter's body in this house on East 1st Street. Kemper was arrested last night at a friend's home in Cloquet. His next court appearance is now set for February 13th. The Minnesota legislature will have their hands full next month trying to solve the state's projected budget shortfall. According to House Majority Leader Dee Long, balancing the state's budget will be lawmakers' top priority when the legislature reconvenes February 18th.
The governor will, I anticipate, be giving us a budget message within a week or so of that, based on the February 27th forecast. And that will, again, give us a blueprint. We will begin to act on that. There will obviously be some changes in his specific proposals as we go through the legislative process, but we hope to have a resolution that all sides can agree to.
Long also says lawmakers are getting close to agreeing on a health care plan. An omnibus crime bill with increased penalties for criminals is also expected to come out of this upcoming session. The mystery of the mummies remains tonight in Duluth, but we do know that whatever they are back at a private museum on East Superior Street. The mummies were seized this morning from Tony's Museum on orders of the State Attorney General. X-rays were taken at St. Luke's Hospital, and findings of the testing are not expected now to be released until next week. The remains of what appear to be a woman and her infant have an interesting history. At one time, they were displayed at an Arkansas State Museum and with the Buffalo Bill Cody Wild West show. Well, Friday is finally here, and Carol joins us now with some important weather. In fact, the most important weather forecast of the week. Carol?
That's absolutely right. Nothing extreme over the weekend. The highs will be up into the teens. Some snow possible on Sunday. Nothing significant.
All right. Thank you very much. There is a lot ahead yet tonight. Tom Hansen will have the latest from the Twin Cities as Super Bowl weekend draws near. We've actually found some good news for the coming tax season, and answers are on the way for women concerned about breast implants. From Rutledge to Mountain Iron, you're watching News 6 Nightside on KBJR.
In 1855, Christopher Stallman began a tradition of brewing that lasted nearly a century and a half until the day big business pulled the plug. Today, that brewery is back. The jobs are back. Best of all, the beer is back, with a taste that captures the pride of Minnesota brewing. Look for the Landmark beer.
The taste of tradition is back in a Landmark premium beer.
For the lowest prices on beautiful kitchen cabinetry, head to Billman's Home Centers. Now, during Billman's annual kitchen sale, you'll save 45% on distinctive cabinets by Decora. And take another 5% discount for cash. Billman's can help you create the kitchen of your dreams. With your new Decora cabinetry, you'll receive free plans and designs, free estimates, and free Billman's bonus bucks. For a new kitchen you'd love to live in, hurry to Billman's. Sale prices are good through the end of the month.
For a limited time, the Dodge Sales Drive drives on. So hurry to your Dodge dealer now and still own Shadow America for only $69.84 thanks to $1,000 cash back. Still $500 cash back on Caravan, and you can get air at no extra charge. Still up to $2,000 cash back on select Dodge trucks and package savings up to $26.83. Hurry, time is running out.
Come play the area's friendliest games of chance at Fond du Lac Big Bucks Casino in Cloquet. Come to where the action is fast and fun, where there are 300 slot machines and 16 blackjack tables for your amusement, now open 24 hours on weekends. In addition to our nickel, quarter, and dollar slot machines plus blackjack, we still feature exciting bingo packages with prizes up to $1,500. No matter how you cut it, it's a full deck of entertainment at Big Bucks Casino. North Country Gaming with a Las Vegas flair. Now open 24 hours Fridays and Saturdays.
As you file your tax returns these coming months, be on the lookout for changes in the 91 return forms. One of the biggest is changes on the new earned income credit for working parents. This year, the basic refundable credit has been raised and adjusted for family size, with 2 new credits added, a health insurance credit and a young child credit. To qualify, taxpayers must have an earned and adjusted gross income of less than $21,250 and have at least one qualifying child.
They could do it by themselves, but it is more confusing than it has been in the past. Like I said, it used to be you just look up the amount of the credit based on your income in a table and you write it down. Now there's an actual form that you have to fill out. The IRS has also provided a way of just filling out a portion where the IRS will calculate your credit for you if you want to do it that way.
Now, the top dollar return for combined federal and state income tax credits in Minnesota is $2,222. In Wisconsin, that amount is $2,161. Gundrum also says those who want the fastest refunds this year should file early and file electronically. If you're one of the 2 million American women who have had breast implants, you're probably confused and concerned about all the discussion surrounding their medical safety. You probably suffer the same anxiety if you're thinking about getting a breast implant. For women like you, the internationally known Medic Alert Foundation has begun a special service. Our Barbara Riles tells us more.
The news has been full lately of stories discussing the potential dangers of silicone breast implants. But if you listen closely, the reports really say we don't know if they're dangerous or not. We know some women have had some problems, but there hasn't been enough research done for conclusive answers.
I do not believe it's a dangerous process, and it hasn't been proven to be to this date. However, as you know, in medicine and with the advent of ease of communication, sometimes word of mouth spreads beyond scientific knowledge.
MedicAlert is introducing a nationwide registry service for all women with breast implants so that people won't have to listen to word of mouth and can rely on scientific research.
Immediately, whenever the FDA makes an official announcement about their specific type of implant, we'll be able to notify each person who wears that implant and notify also her doctors, her surgeons, and her hospitals.
Dr. Shirley Lansky, a breast cancer specialist, says there could be more advantages than first meet the eye.
Also, there will be a benefit that will be seen, I hope, eventually by finding out what the psychological benefits are from both having the implant and participating in the registry.
Here's how the nonprofit breast implant registry works. If you have a breast implant, you contact the registry through its 800 number. Once registered, you'll receive the latest scientific information plus semi-annual reports regarding ongoing research. If you give permission, your case will be used without your name as part of nationwide research efforts. The whole idea behind the registry is to allow women to make informed decisions about their own health. In Duluth, Barbara Riles, News 6.
There is a charge for this registry, but the Breast Implant Registry Service is a nonprofit organization connected with no manufacturers. While many Minnesota hospitals are suffering a shortage of nurses, one Northland hospital is cutting back. Amy Rutledge reports on the layoffs at Virginia's Regional Medical Center.
Virginia's Regional Medical Center is the area's largest employer, but faced with a money crunch, the center is cutting back, and the budget axe is falling on nursing.
Hospital-wide, we feel that we need to reduce the workforce by 13 full-time equivalent employees. We have approximately 450 employees here, so that's not a great number. But that's the number it's going to take for us to attain our financial goals.
Mike Miller, the hospital's administrator, cites an increase in Medicare patients as part of the reason for the cutbacks. He says after trimming costs in every department, the center was left with no choice but to start reducing staff. Ginny Wigness says she understands the reason for the cutbacks, but is concerned about the severity of them and raises the question whether the quality of health care will suffer as a result.
We certainly hope not. We like to think that we deliver good patient care here at the Virginia Hospital, and we would certainly like to see that continue.
The cuts call for the equivalent of 13 full-time positions, but it's unclear how many people will actually be affected through layoffs and a mandatory cutback in hours. Union representatives have raised the issue whether the layoffs are being done according to contract.
Now, both RN and LPN union representatives will meet with the hospital administration next Monday to discuss this layoff concern. When we come back, some important tips to help you teach your kids about money matters.
Coming up later on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, Johnny gets wild with stunt biker Andy Grayson and lives to tell about it. Then learn why James Garner has such bad luck.
I'm the biggest jinx that ever lived.
And on Late Night, Dave finds out what Sybil Shepherd's up to next.
It's the most popular television show of all time.
Johnny and Dave later tonight.
Light. It is the first element of creation. Nothing brings it more elegantly or shapes it more beautifully than Andersen windows and patio doors. Come, live in the light of Andersen windows. Come home to Andersen.
How do the new Toyota trucks stack up? Anything they can do, we can do better.
Can we deliver? Yes, we can.
More power?
Yes, we can.
More room?
Yes, we can.
More payload?
Yes, we can.
The quality Middle America wants made Toyota trucks the #1 selling import, and we're out to stay #1 by giving you the deal you want.
No. Yes, we can.
Really? You can't do any better than Toyota.
Can we deliver?
See your Toyota dealer today and find out.
Yes, we can.
Easy Housing of Duluth says the time is right to move into your new pre-built Wisconsin home. Quality construction is right. A wise alternative to stick building, fully completed within 6 weeks. Ramblers, split entry walkouts, recreation models, hundreds of floor plans from which to choose. And Easy Housing says the price is right. Mortgage rates are right. Order now for summer and fall delivery and save. Easy Housing of Duluth invites you to inspect Wisconsin homes on display.
You're watching KBJR. The news continues.
As parents, we try our best to teach our kids about the important issues, health, ethics, and morality, but we often neglect to teach them about another thing they are sure to need and use their entire lives, about money. In this day and age, it's particularly crucial for girls to be knowledgeable on money management. Emerald Ye looks into the issue as she concludes her series on women and money.
Are we going to raise another generation of little girls to grow up to be women who are afraid of money? I hope not, but I'm not as sure and positive about it now as I was before I did the research.
Jean Ross Peterson is the author of It Doesn't Grow on Trees, a book about children and money. She found that her daughter's generation is still dependent on men when it comes to money management, a behavior that's encouraged or at least reinforced by media messages.
Well, you're going to be spending an obscene amount of money in here. I'm buying this week, I'm getting for the bargain price of about $1 billion.
$1 billion? I think that's all baloney because women should, stand up for themselves, go to school to get a job and not just depend on the men.
She's part of an after-school program for inner-city teenage girls at the Central Y. The program teaches the girls important life skills.
They're helping me a lot to understand how to deal with money and other things that women are able to do, to be able to stand up for themselves, work for themselves, and, be able to support themselves without the man being around.
But Peterson thinks the training should start even earlier, that parents should give their children, boys and girls, allowances as soon as they enter school, and adopt a hands-off policy once the money is given.
Children have to make mistakes. That's the only way they're going to learn. I know one parent told me, I teach my kids to save. I give them an allowance, and out of $5, they have to put $2 every week in the bank. And I said, you're not teaching your kids to save, you're teaching them to obey you.
I save up and I put it away in the bank so then I can have money for when I need something for school, like if I need shoes or clothes.
Peterson says the allowance shouldn't be enough to buy everything the child wants. Otherwise, a child won't learn about discipline and setting priorities. She also suggests giving the child a share of stock.
That share of stock will grow, and you introduce them to dividends and perhaps a dividend reinvestment plan and interest, and it snowballs, and the kids really get a lot of fun out of it.
And she said parents should include children in the family budget process.
When it's time to pay the monthly bills, sit down with your kids, show them the bills, pull out the checkbook. Some families are even having the youngsters write out the checks.
By teaching girls about money at a young age, they learn more than finances. They learn independence.
I plan to have a business major. I want to become a lawyer. I'm going to have a job. When I get older, I'm going to become a teacher. I want to buy a house, and I want to buy a Mercedes, and I want to have 2 dogs.
Emerald Ye for NBC News.
Now, if this series has hit home with you, there are 2 classes we would like to make you aware of. Next month, the Minnesota Extension Service will offer a series for women concerning estate planning to basic finance training. Call the numbers on the screen for further information. Well, our weekend is here, and Carol says it's sure to be a good one. Her weather forecast is next.
There's never been a better time to buy a new GM program rental return. When everybody was out Christmas shopping, Ken Washke was searching the country for the best buys. He bought over 100 cars at rock-bottom prices. He bought these cars so cheap the competition is now paying more for the same cars than Ken Washke is selling them.
There's hidden power in your TV. Second audio program weather. If you have a stereo television set, you can now access up-to-the-minute weather reports day or night. Just turn on KBJR TV and select SAP audio on your stereo set.
A forecast for Elizabeth and vicinity, including...
You'll hear the latest weather from the National Weather Service. Tune into KBJR TV for the most complete weather information offered. SAP Weather, only on Stereo 6, your news channel.
None of them scare me.
Strike hard, strike fast.
Gladiators, you're done. Knock them down.
When one dream is all you're chasing, and one chance is all you've got, one miracle is all you need. Yeah! American Gladiators.
Saturday at midnight on Stereo 6.
This Sunday, escape the Super Bowl with best-selling author Danielle Steele. A single mom meets the perfect man.
He's nice.
Yes, he is. But can he save her from a ruthless father?
No.
The guy kidnaps Jane and the judge takes it under advisement?
She's having the time of her life.
Blockbuster bestseller comes to life. Danielle Steele's Fine Things, NBC Sunday.
Don't wait until Sunday for the big game.
We're live from Super Bowl 26.
Bye-bye, Bill.
Saturday at 5.
If you have big plans for the weekend, then you'll want to hear what Carol has to say.
We've got a little of this, a little of that, nothing to worry about over the weekend. Fairly mild, too. Not a bad weekend shaping up. We managed to get up to 12 above today. 15 the normal high, 50 the record from 1892, 8 below the low overnight, 3 below the norm, 37 below was the record. That was set in 1904. Right now it is mostly cloudy, dropped down to 3 below up at the airport, still 7 above both downtown and in Superior. Winds out of the southeast at 3. No problem with the wind chill. Barometer 29.96 and steady. It is getting a little bit cool throughout the Northland. 13 below right now at Thunder Bay. 6 above in Ashland and Shell Lake right now. Also 6 degrees up at Grand Marais. 10 in Fargo. A beautiful 29 degrees in Sioux Falls. Well, we've got one system that's starting to go bye-bye. This brought some snow to the New England states today, but guess what's coming? Another Alberta Clipper. It's just going to nick the Northland. The southern part of Minnesota and Wisconsin could see some accumulation of snow, but we're not expecting anything here in the Northland. During the winter months, we talk a lot about an Alberta Clipper. Well, what exactly is an Alberta Clipper? It is a storm that starts up there in Canada, usually follows along this path. Generally, we're talking about some lighter amounts of snow, behind it a blast of cold air and some gusty winds, and scenes like this. This came from Buffalo, New York today, where not only did a Clipper move through, but the people there also know about the lake effect snow, and the colder wind comes over the warmer waters of the lake. It picks up the moisture and dumps it in the form of some snow. Look at all the clouds moving into our region as that Clipper continues to move on through. It looks like the national radar fairly inactive. Just what's going on right around in our region is all we're seeing. So let's put it into motion and take a closer look at it, and we can indeed call this one an Alberta Clipper. Earlier today, hardly anything, but it starts expanding. Right now, that area of snow coverage about 120 miles wide. It is moving to the east at about 35 miles per hour, which is fairly typical of the Clippers. They're capable of moving as fast as 40 miles per hour. Look how fast it will be moving by tomorrow. It'll be right down there in North Carolina, bringing a little snow to the people down there. Our highs tomorrow looks like we'll be up into the teens throughout the Northland, and that's not bad at all. Tonight, a slight chance of some snow on the cool side, dropping down to 7 below on the range. Twin Ports, a slight chance of some light snow falling after midnight. It'll be about 5 below away from the lake, 5 above near the lake. We'll round it off, say 1 below, 5 above overnight northwestern Wisconsin. Tomorrow becoming partly cloudy, 10 The high on the range, 11. Twin Ports, 15. Northwestern Wisconsin. More snow moving in Saturday night, again of the light variety. 9 below on the range, 2 below Twin Ports, 6 above Northwestern Wisconsin. A good chance for some, again, light snow on Super Sunday. The temps will be in the comfortable range, 11 on the range, 18 Twin Ports, 20 with a slight chance of snow in Northwestern Wisconsin. The look ahead, get ready. It almost sounds like spring here. Partly cloudy Monday and Tuesday, up to 33 degrees on Tuesday. Still nice and warm on Wednesday with some more light snow.
Beautiful. Okay, thanks a lot, Carol. Still to come in sports, a pair of undefeated boys basketball teams met in an important Lake Superior Conference game tonight in Superior. Tom Hansen with highlights of that game and much more when we come back.
An announcement from Chevrolet Motor Division. 2.9% financing for 48 months has been extended on Chevy Cavalier. Here's what it means to you. 2.9 means the slowest finance rates in years on Chevy Cavalier. 2.9 means you drastically lower your monthly payment, saving you hundreds. 2.9 means another great reason to buy a dependable, quality, American-built Cavalier. 2.9 means don't wait. This is a limited time offer, exclusively at your Lake Country Chevy dealers.
There are wheels, and then there are wheels. Hi, I'm Mark Johnson, your host of the Wisconsin Lottery Money Game. Check out our wheel. As you can see, there's no small change on it. Every time someone spins our Money Game wheel, we give away at least $25,000. Our top prize is $50,000 big bucks every time.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, what are you doing?
Oh, nothing.
The Money Game!
Sunday morning on Stereo 6.
How about the long one? Did you see that?
No, I'm afraid I missed that.
What about that line smash to left field? You had to see that one?
You believe I missed that one, too?
Wait. Don't tell me you missed the race.
I didn't see it.
Catch the action you've been missing.
Nailed him. Yes!
On the George Michael Sports Machine.
It's your own personal instant replay.
TV's best weekly sports wrap-up.
Sunday night on Stereo 6.
They're being held by a madman.
What possible good is going to come out of making a bomb?
And even a ransom.
You know the price, $2 million.
Won't pay their way to freedom.
No! Daddy?
Now, time is running out.
Are we going to get out of this one alive?
Santa Barbara on NBC Daytime.
From the producers of Unsolved Mysteries, the stories behind history's biggest disasters and the people who survived them. Unsolved Mysteries presents The Story Behind the Story, NBC Monday.
It was a successful night for UMD sports teams.
Yeah, not one, not two, 3 teams won, including the hockey team. The hockey team had not beaten Northern Michigan since 1985. It was a huge game for them. We'll talk more about that coming up in our WCHA segment. But first in basketball, if UMD plans on taking their 7th straight NIC title, they're going to need a win all of their home games. UMD, with 1 loss already in conference play, took on Morris tonight at stake. A home conference winning streak of 39 games. You have to go back to the year 85 for the last home conference loss. The Bulldogs beat Morris 3 times last season. Rich Steffen gets a pick from Paul Girth. Girth takes the ball in return and makes sure he finds the hole with it. There he goes, in for 2 of his 10 points tonight. Perry Ford and his Cougars lost 3 times to the Dogs a year ago. Damian Paulson from Elbrook High School gets the ball at the high post, finds Darren Hansen. Hansen makes a nice move, goes in, hits the jumper. He would lead the Dogs with 16 points tonight. The Bulldogs would break the press here. John Spence would find Paul Girth again. Girth, boom, 2 big points for the Bulldogs. However, they were down by 2 points at the half, 31-29. Dogs would win it though, 56-49. They are now 2-1 in the conference, 12-7 overall. They'll take on Southwest State tomorrow night. Their home winning streak in the NIC now 40 straight games. Morris 0-3 in conference play. Other conference games, Northern State over Winona State 84-69. And we'll show you those other scores. And it was Bemidji over Southwest State 81-77. Now let's check out the college basketball scores. Hold on, folks. Let's go back to the college basketball. It was UMD women's team over Winona State 71-47. UMD now 4-2 on the year. And it was Northland Community College over Mesabi 74-42. 2. Now let's go into the WCHA full screen board, and there we have it. The Bulldogs a win over Northern Michigan 4-3. That is their first win since 1985, a 14-game losing streak snapped there. Chris Marinucci had 2 goals for UMD. Joe Biondi had a goal. Derek Plant also had a goal, by the way. Marinucci's first 2 goals of the season. Let's check out the other game in the WCHA. The Huskies and the Fighting Sioux were in action tonight in the WCHA, and North Dakota up 1-0 in the first. Dixon Ward feeds off Jeff McClellan in the slot. He puts it away for the quick shot, 2-0 Sioux. 11 seconds later, they would add to their lead. Greg Johnson gets the puck to Justin Duberman, who beats St. Cloud goalie Dave Stone, 3-0 North Dakota. Still in the first, St. Cloud appeared to get on the board. Jeff Satterdahl would score on a backhand, but look at the far side of the crease. Tim Haynes skated in the crease. The goal was disallowed. They would lose another goal in the third. North Dakota led 4-0. Let's check out the final score in this game, and it's North Dakota with a 6-4 win over St. Cloud. Other scores in the WCHA: Minnesota leads Colorado College in the third period, and Denver leads Michigan Tech 4-3 also in the third. College hockey, Jackets lose a 17-game unbeaten streak snapped as Mankato beat the Jackets in college hockey, and was Gustavus Adolphus over St. Scholastica by a score of 5-1. Let's check out high school hockey scores. It was Greenway over Hibbing, International Falls 4, Virginia 1, and Chisholm wallops Ely 17-1. 2 undefeated teams in the Lake Superior Conference met tonight in Superior. Both East and Superior wanted to remain that way after tonight's contest in Superior. The Spartan cheerleaders rocking the home crowd. But it was East that came out rolling. Look at this. Jake Voigt gets the steal, puts down a reverse jam. 2-0 Greyhounds to start the game. Wow. Then Voigt hits again, this time from the outside. He finished the game with 23 points. East jumped out to an early 14-2 lead. It was an East victory, 74-58. The final score, East 5-0 in conference play. Superior drops to 4-1. Let's check out other high school boys basketball. It was Ashland over Wakefield. Big Fork clobbers Hill City 127-47. What a score there. Cook over Evelyn Gilbert. Cherry defeats Mesabi East 56-44. With Central win over Denfeld. Hinckley defeats Rush City. Tower Sedan over Cotton. Mountain Iron Buell over Nashwauk-Keewatin. South Shore defeats Bayfield. East Central over Isle. Wrenshall 56, Trivola Meadowlands 54, Albrook 74, and Carleton 67. High school boys, more games to pass along. Cook County a win over Marshall. It was McGregor over Moose Lake Willow River. Esco downs Floodwood 95-43. It was Ely taking care of Orr 50-40. It was Glidden 64, Northwestern 54, Barnum 65, and Cromwell 56. Couple girls high school basketball games to report. MIB a winner over Deer River 87-25. South Shore a winner over Solon Springs 62-42. It was Spooner losing to Chautauqua. Drummond remains perfect on the season, 58-42 win over Mercer. Moose Lake Willow River over Silver Bay 49-44. Hayward a win over Cumberland 64-45. And moving on to football, the kickoff for Super Bowl 26 is just hours away. Workers continue to prepare the field and the dome for the big game. Of course, it'll be kickoff at 5:18 on Sunday. It's Buffalo versus Washington. And also, Michelle, real quickly, there's been a change in the Pepsi Challenge cross-country ski race at Giants Ridge. It has now been pushed back from 9 until 10 for tomorrow up at Giants Ridge. Once again, great win for the Dogs hockey team.
Okay, thank you very much. When we come back, we're going to tell you about a local garage band going national. Stay with us.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jackie Glenn, and welcome to the official Wisconsin Lottery Super Cash drawing, witnessed by the certified public accounting firm of Connolly McDonald & Company. Congratulations to the 3 lucky holders of last night's winning numbers. Those tickets were purchased at Kim's Foods in Chippewa Falls, the Quick Trip in Oshkosh, and the Marketplace in Hayward. Now tonight's winning numbers. The first number, 19, the number is 19. The second number, 16, the number is 16. The third number, 15, the number is 15. The fourth number, 17, the number is 17. The fifth number, Number 3, the number is 3. And the 6th number for $250,000 is number 4. The number is 4. Once again, 19, 16, 15, 17, 3, and 4. Thank you for playing Super Cash. Good luck from the Wisconsin Lottery.
They call themselves the Pirates, and they bill themselves as the worst band in the Northland, but they may not live up to that billing, as this Sunday night they'll get national airplay. The Pirates' own song, One of Those Days, will be aired on the nationally syndicated radio show Blues Deluxe. Hundreds of thousands of people tune into the program each week to hear the latest in rhythm and blues. The Pirates, interestingly enough, don't play in public. They play for the simple enjoyment of making music. If you want to catch their tune, tune into KQDS Sunday night at 10 p.m. for Blues Deluxe. And that's the news for this week. For all of your weekend news, tune in to Nightside with Tony Shockley and the Weekend News Team. They'll have a live report from the Dome on Sunday. We'll all be back on Monday. Until then, good night.
Men's wardrobe provided by Reinhold's, Miller Hill Mall main entrance. Hairstyles by La Pinato, Duluth and Superior.